Hi everyone, New York Times bestselling author Jamie Brumfield, and I'm coming to you today with a spoiler review for Lock and Key. So if you haven't watched season 1 of Lock and Key on Netflix and you don't want to know anything about it, you can check out my non-spoiler review. I'll link it up in the video description below, and then go check it out and then come back and let's chat about it in the spoiler review that you're watching right now. All right, so today we're going to go ahead and, so you've been forewarned, the rest of this is all spoilers. Oh, I just don't like, for me, I don't like shows being ruined for me. I like to watch them first and then kind of engage in conversation in the chat afterwards when we've watched it. So that's just my personal preference. Some people don't mind spoilers. All right, so Lock and Key. This is what you're looking for on Netflix. It is a picture of a boy's head with a key stuck in the back of his head. So Lock and Key. Lock and Key is based off of a comics by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. And so I have not watched the comic, or I have not read the comics. If you have, let me know in the comment section below, or let all of us know in the comment section below if you liked that, liked the comics, and if the comics actually compare to the series on Netflix, if you've seen the series, because I'm really curious about that. I haven't read the comics. I do hear online, as I was looking through other comments and things like that, that as I was doing the research for this video, I do hear online that the comics might be a little bit darker than the actual series on Netflix. The series on Netflix took a more fantastical approach, I think. But all in all, I think it was really well. If you watched my non-spoiler review, I gave it high ranks. And so I'll tell you that I gave it an 85% 4 out of 100, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. So I definitely really enjoyed this series. Now let's kind of talk about it. So the series setup is really about following their father's murder. 3 siblings move into a house with reality bending keys. Okay, so that's really how it starts out. And so here's the deal. What happens is, in the very beginning, the first few episodes, you're really getting to know the characters, and it's really about, hey, this is the characters. You know that the father died, you don't know the story behind it, and little pieces will be filtered to you over the next 3 episodes as to what happened and how the father died. And as you're watching it, and again, spoilers here, but the father was shot, and there was an aspect to it that the kids were actually, not only was the mom there, but the kids were actually there too, in some way, shape, or form. So you have 3 kids who, the oldest brother, he was basically outside the door, pounding on the door, trying to get in to save. So for his mentality through the series is that he tried to save his father and he couldn't get to him to save him. So this is kind of what led his character through most of season 1. Like, I'm going to save people. I've got to do something different now because it didn't work. I didn't save my father. So you kind of got that feel as you're watching it, that his character's motivation was protection. He was about protecting. And then you've got Kinsey and Bodhi, who were the younger siblings. Bodhi is the tween, and then you've got Kinsey, who is she's a teenager. She's the middle child, and Kinsey had Bodhi underneath the table, and she was protecting him, covering his mouth, trying to keep him quiet so that they could survive, so they could live through this. So her motivation through the season was about fear. She was living in fear, and she felt like it was revealed later on that she felt that she had been living in fear, and because of that fear, she wasn't able to help. But really, honestly, what happened because of that fear was that she was able to protect her little brother, and she needed her older brother to tell her, that's the case. You protected your brother. You kept him safe. It's okay. You did good. You did good. And basically he had to make it clear to her that there was nothing that she could have done. So these siblings had to learn. And then Bodhi, of course, he's preteen, so he was affected just like the siblings were, but his motivation was more about wanting to see his father, wanting to say goodbye to his father through the season one. He wanted to say goodbye. So he was the easiest one to approach when the bad guy, we'll just call it the bad guy because as you're watching series, again, spoiler, you don't know if it's a guy or a girl. It's a demon. So we'll just give that away because I'm giving you spoilers. So it's a demon. So you've got this demon who's approaching the Bodhi, who's the youngest, and so and we'll get into that here in a minute. So they lose their father. Their father is shot. Their father is actually the person who shot them was actually a student and a friend of the oldest brother. So all of a sudden they've got there all of a sudden he's like his friend shot his father. He's watching it. I mean, it's a horrific thing that they're going through. The mother was shot as well, but she survived, and so the whole deal was horrific. The whole purpose to this shooting was that first of all, also oldest brother also thought it was his fault because he was friends with the guy who shot his father because his father suggested it. But that comes into play later on in the season too. So all of this is your setup for what's going on with these characters. And also, FYI, the mother is a recovering alcoholic. So the mother decides to move the family to a family home so she can get to know her husband better, but also, let her kids reconnect to or find a piece of their father. And really, she's just trying to figure things out. So she moves the family to the family home. When they get there, things are a little wonky. So what happens is they move into this mansion, which the town people think is haunted. And they move into this mansion, and then all of a sudden, almost immediately, Bodhi starts hearing voices and whispers, and he is drawn to a well where he's drawn to a well. And when he's drawn to that well, he starts talking to the well. And you've seen this in the previews, where he's talking to the well, and then the well's whispering back, and he goes, "Are you my echo?" And she says, "Yes." And so all of a sudden, and that's her name through the series. This is the bad guy. This is the demon, and she is the echo. And so she is influencing Bodhi to find these magical keys. And so Bodhi starts listening to the whispers, and he starts finding these keys. And as he finds these keys, he realizes these keys have different powers. Each one unlocks a different door. Each one unlocks something new, some kind of magical ability. And so he finds two keys, and then all of a sudden, the first key he finds is called the Anywhere key. And then he finds the second key, which is the brain key. And so when he finds the second key, he starts getting his siblings involved. First, he tries to get Kinsey involved with the first key, but his attempt failed, and then he learned, oh, this is why. So he basically, he said, okay, all right, I can do this now. We'll get my siblings involved in the next one. He gets them involved, and then all of a sudden they start unlocking different things. They start realizing, wow, these keys are amazing. Then they start seeing how this is kind of a legacy for them. This is a connection to their father, and they start realizing now they can learn more about their father as they're going through the series. And so they're finding these keys. They're unlocking secrets. They're unlocking different abilities. They're learning how to use these keys, and the characters use these keys, and some of them use them in responsible ways, others use them in not responsible ways, and this creates a lot of tension. Some high school drama comes into play here, and really they're just trying to find their way. I don't necessarily agree with the choices that Kinsey made, but it was her character. Her character was, they had to have one character in there that was going to make bad choices with the magical keys. I mean, if you have magical keys, it's kind of believable that people are going to swing that pendulum too far one way or the other. So, and while you don't agree with it, it was a very believable storyline because, well, that's what you would do, right? Have you seen this series so far? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, I'm going to still try to leave it a little less spoilers, even though we're going through spoilers, I'm kind of giving you the character motivation, kind of major plot points and things like that. But as you're watching it, there's still things that you'll be able to see that will be new to you. And I'm hoping that's interesting for you. All right, so they unlock these keys and they get to know a little bit better. Then all of a sudden, the demon, the Echo, comes out and they they're basically what was actually the hidden secrets room where they actually walked through a mirror. It was very good. I loved that scene. That's where Bodhi gave the key to the demon and said, "Hey, save my mom." In exchange for saving my mom, I'll give you this key. And she just disappears on him. So she doesn't save him. So the family has to come together and you see how well they work together. That's the first point where you see how well they work together as a team. And you realize, oh, this family can take stuff, and they did. I mean, they took their father's death. So that kind of thing. So keep that in mind as you're watching it. All of these little scenes really do play into line with making you understand how they can overcome adversity and come together as a family. Even though as you're watching it, there are some separations as a family because people are making bad choices, and some people don't want to be involved in this. And there's going to be that natural response to being exposed to this kind of magical world, and there is. So then they find they find all these other keys, and the demon comes back, and the demon wants more keys. So it is discovered as you're watching it that Echo cannot take the keys away from the Locke family. However, you're going to see where she can take the keys from other people. And you're like, wait a minute, why is it she can't take it away from the Locke family? And there wasn't much of a reveal on that as far as why, other than the fact that it was just basically said, I can't take keys from the Locke family, but anybody else is fair game. So why that hasn't been revealed, and so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out maybe in season 2. It would be interesting to see why is the Locke family so special and everybody else is fair game, kind of thing. And that's Echo's words exactly. So also you find out that one of the characters you find out that the parents of some of the parents of these kids actually were involved with being guardians to these keys, and they opened up a doorway, and the doorway is what released the demon. And so as you're watching this, you're seeing it all unfold. It's going back and forth between the parents and what they did as teenagers, and then the teenagers now and what they're doing as teenagers, and the different choices that both groups make. Loss, all of that, really good. It all really played out really well. And then it comes as you're watching the middle part. That's kind of the middle part, and then you see them hit the climax of the series or season, and basically where everything comes to a boiling point and explodes. And you realize that Echo has a key, and the key is where she can turn into anything she wants to turn into. So she could be one of the characters that was murdered in the parents storyline, or she could be one of the character, or she could be the demon. I'm guessing the female demon is really her main look, and so she can take on these faces of other people, and then she can deceive them, and which she does. And so that's a key, which changes your face into something else. So all in all, she's impacting in deceiving, and the demon's role in this is all about deceiving people. She's just all about deceiving people to get what she wants, and she wants an omega key, which is supposed to be able to bring people back to life. Um, and also she wants a shadow crown, which basically gives her the power over shadows. And then that major battle happens, and then they think that they defeated the demon Echo, and they decide to throw her back into the doorway at the very end. However, as the story unfolds for season two, they're giving the breakaway to season two. They think they've won, and now they think that life is going to get back to normal, and yet they still got these magical keys that they can use. So why the story of why the magical keys exist, the story of why the Locke family has, they can't be stolen from the Locke family. All of that wasn't revealed. This whole season was about watching these teenagers work together and then kind of incorporating other teenagers within their new city, and as well as making their relationships with family work and understanding which adults remember and which adults don't remember, because some do and some don't, and then being able to kind of navigate through this fantastical world that they're in and overcoming a demon. That's what season one is all about. And so you get that, and all of that plays out, and they did a really good job of that. Then the question is, what's going to happen in season two? So let's talk a little bit about that. Season two is about, well, if there is a season two, it hasn't been greenlit yet. So if there is a season two, they've already set it up for season two. So the ending, let's explain the ending. Again, this is a spoiler review. So please, if you don't want to hear the ending, turn off. But so the ending is that they kill the shadow demon, which they believe knocks out the demon, the physical demon in the physical world, and so they think they've got this physical demon who's been knocked out. Who they really have is um, one of the parents that actually has the ability to, or has one of the keys. And so they actually did not kill her, but she, remember that key that changes the face? Well, the demon used that key on her to change her face. So now everybody thinks that she's the demon, but she's not the demon. So she was swapped out. And this is at the end, so I'm not revealing anything here, but she's swapped out before the kids know that she was swapped out. So the kids take this, who they believe is the demon, but it's actually a parent who is using the key, the identity key. That's what it was called, the identity key. And so they decide to dump her into the demon realm door. And so they enlist their friends to help them because she's heavy, and they're carrying her down there. And so they dump her into the demon realm door, and as they're dumping her into the demon realm door, she wakes up, and then she's like, "No, no, no!" She's in there trying to save, and all of these demons are coming out through um, their little fireballs, and the fireball hits you, you turn into a demon, you get possessed by a demon. All of these are coming out as they're trying to dump the who they think is the demon into the demon world, and what they do is they actually release some new demons. So some new demons are now possessing other kids within that town, but they don't know this yet. They have no idea that this is happening. So all very interesting. So this is all going to unfold in season two, if there is a season two. But so that's the ending. The ending is really about they think that they've won. They decide to stay, and what they realize is they don't realize it under the surface, that they're not, what's unseen to them is they have not won, and they've actually brought back more problem in the process. So how that's going to unfold, we'll see in season two. All right, so this is my spoiler review. Again, I hope this is my first time doing a spoiler review. So let me know down below what you think of the spoiler reviews. Did I give enough details and still leave something to the imagination? Did I give too much detail? Did I spill too much juice? And do you find these spoiler reviews helpful? Because if you don't find them helpful, I will just keep with the process. But it has been asked to do spoiler reviews, so I'm going to try it for a while and see what y'all think. So let me know in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing your opinion on this and your spoiler viewpoint on this season in the comment section below as well. And let's chat about it. Also, if you want to see a more detailed ending explained and predictions for season two in another video, let me know in the comment section below, and I will put that together. All right, so thanks so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click the bell to get notified when new videos become available. Like the video, comment down below. I love the chat. I love chatting with you guys, so definitely comment down below. For those of you that have been supporters of this channel, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being a Brumfield believer and being supportive as we continue to grow and figure out what direction this channel is going. I really appreciate it. And so I'm going to let you go. Always New York Times bestselling author Jamie Brumfield, Escaping to the Paranormal with Me. Thanks for escaping to the paranormal with me. Check out my books online. I've linked them up in the video description below. And y'all have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.